Hey there guys, I was using the Profoto B10 on a shoot at a local resort called South Seas Island Resort, and it was not ideal lighting. It was in the middle of the day, but once I left there, it was about 11 a.m, 11:30 a.m. I was driving back, and a buddy of mine who's another photographer from LA called me up and was asking my opinion of the Profoto B10. He specifically wanted to know if it was powerful enough to operate in midday sun, which it is, you know, with some limitations, but it definitely is. And I was trying to explain to him, you just need to keep the source really close. But I said, you know what? Actually, I was driving up to a beach called Blind Pass. So why don't I just swing by in there and I'll do some tests for you, and what better than just showing you the pictures. So as I pulled in there was a film crew doing a story about rip currents. Blind Pass is a strip of water that divides Sanibel Island and Captiva Island, and the tide really goes through there pretty quick. So they had drones out, they had the police boats and rescue boats out, and they were doing a story about rip currents. Anyway, in the midst of that, I saw my buddy, Kirk Erwin, award-winning journalist, Emmy award-winning journalist. He was just finishing up, so I asked him if he could jump in and if we could do a couple of test shots, which he obliged very kindly. We did a couple of tests. We used the zoom reflector, we used the collapsible beauty dish, the 3-foot beauty dish, and I also used a 5-foot umbrella. We did those three things, and I took pictures of the setup and then pictures of the subject. So let's get into it, and this is what I found. Okay, so let's start with where we did the shoot. I was driving down this is where South Seas is, and then the beach here is on the right as you're heading back to Sanibel, and this pass here is called Blind Pass, and that's basically a pass that divides. This is Sanibel here and then Captiva on this side. It has filled in a couple of times because there is so much current coming through here. It was created by a hurricane many years ago, and it's been filled up by hurricanes, but I've since emptied it out. But you can see when I pulled in here, there was a boat out here and the news crews were standing on the beach here and filming these guys out here. So I happened to pull in here and we did the shoot right here, and you can see this is in the middle of the day, so it's a really, really bright spot, and you can see why they're doing the rip current training just by looking at this picture. But anyway, going back to Kirk, so I got Kirk, and this was the first shot that we did. You can see my setup here. I use like a fishing cart, and there's basically tubes that I use. I cut the legs off of a Manfrotto stand and then just basically put the B10 head on top. This is the zoom reflector, which is Profoto zoom reflector. It's the item number 100785 in case anyone's interested. And it was just pushed all the way in. There's no cover on the front of it or anything like that. And now this is actually a lot closer than it looked. It really is. This is a super wide angle lens. I'm guessing it's about probably 4 or 5 feet away. It's as close as I could get to it and still get the picture. And I was trying to get a full length shot. So you can see the setup there. That's going to be full power. And that's the result. So not bad. Midday sun. It's pretty even all the way down. It's competing with the background. And then there's a little closer up shot there of Kirk. You can see how much effect the shadows are having on there. And this is, but with it pulled back just a little bit further, just trying to get more of a full length. And none of these pictures have had anything done to them whatsoever. They're just converted from RAW to JPEG, that's it. There's no brightness, darkness, anything done to them. Completely untouched. So that's the zoom reflector. Okay, moving on to this one. This is same setup again, except we've switched out the zoom reflector, and I've got the umbrella deep large, which actually I said earlier was 5 feet. It's actually not. It's 51 inches, 4¼ feet. But it's a really deep white umbrella. There's no scrim or anything on the front of it, just in case. Profoto umbrella deep white large. That's a little closer up now. You can see obviously where it's not quite as powerful. Obviously it's got a lot more area to fill. But still perfectly adequate. I mean, I would use this for a single person or a couple, but I don't think I'd use it for much more than that. You see it looks like it's got a little bit of extra juice in that one there. There's the full length version. And there you go. You see how bright it is. Kirk's really struggling to keep his eyes open there. But it's pretty good fall off of light. It's pretty even. It's nice and soft considering what time of day it is. Okay, so that's the Umbrella Deep White Large. And then going on to the Beauty Dish White 2 feet. And I think I said this was 3 feet, but it's 2 feet. And that is... this had a scrim diffuser. You can see the OCF diffuser on the front, and I do use it with that all the time just because it gives a little bit of a softer light. You tend to get a little bit of skin glare if you don't use it. So here we go. This is the same thing again. You can see it's backlit there, so it's actually pumping out quite a bit of light. That's the setup there with the OCF Beauty Dish. And again, a little bit darker, but still nice soft lights, falling off a bit more towards the bottom. Okay, now these are the same Beauty Dish, just a little bit closer up. So this would be more like if you were doing a headshot. You can see it's coming, it's pretty soft. Let's see how close he is to it. Even tighter shot there, just to give you an idea of how close. I mean, that's really close. And there's the shot without the reflector in it. That would be what you'd be actually seeing. And once again, you can see you can barely keep his eyes open. So that was one we took for him. And then this was the same setup. So you imagine like a tight headshot if you were doing a portrait with it really close. So basically you can see where the umbrella stand is. I think in some of these pictures, you'll see it actually sticking out to the side. You see it there, but it's got a beautiful fall off of light. Obviously needs a little bit of adjusting, but I would have it that close and I would get rid of that after. But if you get it super close, it's even, you know, I mean, that's an incredible amount of power for midday sun. 4¼ foot umbrella. So that's about it. You've got the 3 different options there. You could go bare bulb. I didn't try it just because I think you get a little bit more power with the zoom reflector. There is a reflector that they make specifically for the B10 that is supposed to double the output. I don't know if the zoom reflector, the regular one, does the same thing. I've never tested it, but anyway, I hope this gives you an idea. It's a very capable light, even in midday sun. I wouldn't use this for what I have done, but you know, like you're probably good up to, in the midday sun, probably up to 4 people, 5 people max. After that, you're going to need extra lighting. It's really not powerful enough. I'm sure the 10 plus would definitely do a stellar job if you wanted to get that extra power. But the B10, totally capable, totally recommend it, especially for the size. You can't beat the size of it. I mean, it's just incredible. I was using a big B1200 power pack before with 2 heads, and that was just a beast to carry around. I had a big old fishing cart that I had to carry around, and this in comparison fits in my camera bag, so you can't beat that. So hope this helps someone if you're trying to figure out how much light this will actually put out in a real world situation. I thought I'd share it because it kind of made up my buddy's mind. He's like, yep, definitely we can use that. So he was sold as soon as he saw these pictures. So if you'd like to see more content like this, please mention in the comments below. I'm going to be having other photography related subjects coming up. I'm going to be doing all sorts of different things, and it could be amateurs to pros to gear reviews, all the rest of it. So if that's something you're into, make sure you subscribe and like the channel, and we'll keep you notified for everything that's coming up. Thanks very much. Have a great day.